Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another special edition of Music Theory Mondays, Christmas edition. This is the last episode we did, We Wish You a Merry Christmas, which is a great, fun-loving song. Today we're going to do one that's a little more on the religious side, a little more on the serious side. This is called Oh Holy Night, and it's in the key of C. Starts off with a C chord, and then we're going to do a C over E. So we get a little movement with that E bass note. That's going to lead us to the 4 chord in F, and then back to C. So I just want you to notice that bass line. It goes from C to E to F. So we have a little bit of a scale climb. After the C chord, we're then going to throw in a G chord, which is the 5, and then back to the C as the 1 chord. So far it's pretty basic. It's a 1, 4, 5 in C. I want to kind of fast forward ahead here. Alright, so on that second page, after a resolution to the C chord again as the 1 chord, they throw in a C7. Now usually a C7 would be followed by an F major chord or an F minor chord, because that would be a 5 to 1. In this case, it's actually going to be followed by an E minor with a B in the bass. And then that goes to a B7, which is the 5 of E minor, and then back to the E minor with an E in the bass. So what's interesting about this is that C7 is not resolving to F. It's kind of indirectly resolving to the E minor, and I feel it's kind of an unusual movement. But I feel the reason it sounds so good is because you've got the B flat in the C7, all right? And then when they play the E minor, they play a B in the bass, and then they do the B7 to kind of cement that B, and then they come back to the E minor with an E in the bass as a resolution for the B7. But I feel like the reason the C7 to E minor works so well is because the C7 has a B flat and the E minor has a B, so there's a half-step relationship there. So I feel like even though C7's not technically supposed to resolve to E minor, that bass note relationship created by the change in bass note from the B and the E minor chord is what makes that sound so good. So you've got a nice little and then back home. Hope that made sense. Interesting chord progression. I really like this tune. From there it goes on with a G7 to a C, which is just 5 to 1 in the key of C. So we're mostly in the key of C doing, you know, the 1, the 4, the 5, nothing too fancy. Really love that little section there with the C7 to the E minor. That's so cool. And again, I feel like it's that bass note relationship that makes it sound good. If anybody has any questions, comments, like, subscribes, thanks for watching. Merry Christmas.